Assalamu alaikum. I'm Ibrahim Hooper with CAIR's News Update. CAIR this week joined with the Sikh community in filing bias complaints against California amusement parks that bar visitors from wearing religious head coverings from rides.
Lawyers with the Council on American Islamic Relations, or CAIR, say they've received 7 official complaints of discrimination from Muslim and Sikh park goers who were denied access to the go-kart ride for the same reason at Boomers Parks in Northern California and San Diego.
Some people waited in line for over a half hour with a big group of children in the heat, and then only to be told that they weren't allowed to go on the go-kart, and not having any notice prior to that.
Samar McBell says after reaching out to Boomer's parent company Palace Entertainment with proposals to accommodate riders with religious headscarves and getting nowhere, CAIR and United Sikhs have now filed a complaint with the State Department of Fair Employment and Housing.
Attorney Bryce Hammock says Boomers violated her civil rights.
On the same ride there would be girls with very long hair and other kind of flowing loose clothing, so we feel that at this point in time the denial of the access to the go-kart rides was primarily based on her religious clothing.
CAIR's San Francisco Bay Area office assisted the family of a Muslim teen who survived stowing away on a flight to Hawaii.
Family of 15-year-old Yahya Abdi released a statement through the Council on American Islamic Relations, or CAIR, a civil rights group.
The family is very relieved about their son's safety. I think that for the last week, everyone has had the opportunity to learn about the harrowing circumstances of the trip, the very low likelihood of survival.
Also in California, CAIR hosted a Muslim Day at the Capitol to lobby for privacy rights.
Accessing information of Californians or of any citizens in general without them knowing, it goes against our basic needs, our privacy as Americans, and it goes against our freedom. And so by having this bill passed, it allows us to provide our information at our own will rather than having it taken from us without our knowing.
Ahmed and more than 100 people from the Council on American Islamic Relations talked to lawmakers in support of the bill.
In Tennessee, CAIR called on the Republican Party to repudiate an anti-Muslim campaign mailer.
The mailer already has the attention of the Council on American Islamic Relations. Today, the group said it is unconscionable for any candidate to stoop to such a low level of campaigning by appealing to bigotry and promoting religious divisions. We hope to see such blatant prejudice repudiated by GOP officials in Tennessee.
In Washington, D.C., CAIR's National Executive Director spoke at a news conference challenging voter suppression.
For more than 40 years, the Voting Rights Act had helped African American voters, Muslim Americans, and other voters of other minorities. Last year's Supreme Court rule was a major setback to civil rights and to the Voter Rights Act. We hope that this new proposed legislation to amend the 1964 Civil Rights Act will enable voters again, those who do not have access to driver's licenses, to be able to vote without suppression and without discrimination.
CAIR's director also spoke at a Tribeca Film Festival premiere for an HBO documentary on the Newburgh Four and allegations of FBI entrapment. CAIR also responded to allegations that the FBI is using the no-fly list to pressure American Muslims to become informants. Either I do what the FBI wants or I can't return home. That's how it's portrayed to them.
Ibrahim Hooper of the Council on American Islamic Relations says the lawsuit is similar to what he's heard from Muslims who are trying to get off no-fly lists.
Tell us who goes to the mosque, what's said in the mosque, what goes on in your community, then we'll let you go back in. CAIR's national office recently held one of many youth leadership events at which young people heard from experts on subjects such as lobbying and public relations. In Minnesota, CAIR held an interfaith event to dispel stereotypes about Islam and Muslims. In St. Louis, CAIR spoke out against hate crimes such as the recent deadly attacks on Jewish sites in Kansas City.
Whenever there's a crime of hate done, it's our responsibility and our duty as all Americans to create a united front against it, so that way these types of crimes do not happen again.
And your organization stepped up immediately to unite and show support. Why is that so important, to act and act quickly?
it's vital to act quickly, because when these types of attacks occur, they not only affect those people who tragically lost their lives, but it affects all those people who are associated with that same race, religion, ethnicity, whatever it might be. And when one acts and one shows that we are in solidarity, it eases that fear, it eases that tension. It shows that as a community, we condemn this attack, but even beyond that, we condemn it, and we're going to work to make sure this thing doesn't happen again in the future.
And finally, CAIR's Ohio office stood in solidarity with the Jewish community after a Nazi swastika was painted on a home in that state.
Civic organizations tonight are coming forward to help an East Price Hill hate crime victim. That's after disputes with neighbors led to a swastika on Ralph Ford's front door.
To receive CAIR updates and action alerts, sign up at CAIR.com. To contact CAIR, email info@CAIR.com. Assalamu alaikum. Peace to you.